cases, criminal cases against those involved in this massive, unprecedented plunder of government flood control projects. May I know if maybe this will help guide, likewise, the soon-to-be chairperson of the Committee on Public Accountability, the Blue Ribbon Committee, on the matter of warranties and performance bonds. Because as I understand, I was able to sit down with former Secretary Babe Singson to consult him and to better understand, the lay of the land in terms of this problem of flood control projects gone wrong. That there are warranties as to contract prices under the procurement law, as well as warranties for failed projects. If I may quote, this is the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations of RA 9184, or the procurement law. For contract price and warranties, it states 62.2, for the procurement of infrastructure projects, the following warranty shall be made from the time project construction commence up to the final acceptance. The contractor shall assume full responsibility for any damage or destruction of the works, for safety, protection, security, convenience, third parties, as well as work equipment. And it states 1 year from project completion up to the final acceptance or the defects liability period. So the following shall be responsible, for example, for structural defects. Nakita natin dun sa mga picture na substandard, etc. Major faults, flaws, deficiencies in one or more key structural elements, etc. Contractor is liable for warranties. Consultant, procuring entity representative, project manager, third parties. And the warranty against structural defects for semi-permanent structures is 5 years. So in other words, if the projects were 2022, 2023, 2024, pasok pa siya dun sa 5 years. Building types, concrete asphalt roads, concrete river control, drainage, irrigation canals, river landing. And ang kanyang mga warranty would be 5%, 10%, or 30%, depending on the form of warranty and security. Hindi ba dapat, based on what we have found out so far, may kilos na ang ating gobyerno para i-enforce itong warranties na ito sa mga napakaraming proyekto na na-uncover natin na substandard o kaya ghost projects?
The bigger problem, Mr. President, is we have a law, but it is not being followed.
Yun na nga.
That is the problem.
Yes. But in this case, hopefully, perhaps during the committee hearings, we can ask the status of whether or not these warranties are now being enforced. Kasi malaking halaga eh.
Very good point, Mr. President. We should raise that.
So amount of warranty security should be 30%. Surety bond callable upon demand issued by GSIS, for example. It shall be denominated in Philippine pesos. And ito po, isang remedyo, penalties and warranties that the government can run after the contractors. As well as, I think, kung may warranty yan, sino ang mga, is it insurance companies, guarantee corporations?
Yes, meron pong insurance eh. Ang problema, sino yung agency responsible for invoking or implementing yung mga warranties na ito? Eh yun ding agency na corrupt eh.
Exactly, and that's why with the new Secretary of Public Works,
yes, high hopes, Mr. President.
we can inquire as to how to go after itong mga substandard structures, construction infrastructures of flood control projects, and make them pay. Sabi nga nila, yes, baka imprisonment is is an option. It will take some time, but perhaps the warranties in the millions will be more immediate, and therefore the monetary punishment will be fast and immediate.
Yes, Mr. President, and probably kung medyo recidivist na, perpetual absolute blacklisting.
Blacklisting, yes, we support that. Kaya dito sa warranties na ito, pwedeng habulin ng gobyerno, ng public works ang ating mga contractor at yung kanilang mga surety companies para makolekta, maihabol man lang ang ilang halaga na nalustay. That would be immediately makaka-recover at masasaktan din itong mga contractor na ito dahil sila ay kahit paano hindi man sila nasasampahan pa ng kaso, meron ng mga penalties na pwedeng ma-recover. Yes.
Senator Risa Ontiveros is recognized.
Salamat, Mr. President, and with the indulgence of the two gentlemen on the floor, just an additional point of information, baka useful po dito sa current topic na tinatalakay nila on the warranties. Naalala ko po, Mr. President, dun sa pangalawang hearing ng Blue Ribbon Committee, dun sa privilege speech ni Senator Lacson, sinabi po ng DPWH na flood control projects are classified as semi-permanent structures having a 5-year warranty period. Samantala daw yung mga permanent structures tulad ng mga kalsada, tulay, o lalo na ng mga tulay, have a 15-year warranty period. So if that's at all useful, Mr. President, for the record. Salamat po, Mr. President.
So pwede palang habulin yung kabagan 15 years.
Yes. For permanent structures and for semi-permanent, 5 years. Yung mga flood control projects ng 2022, 2023, 2024, which are considered semi-permanent, hanggang 2027, pwedeng habulin. At malaki ang magiging pondo na yan. At
I think we should ask Secretary Vince Dizon kung ilan na yung nasunod natin sa batas regarding warranties.
Yes.
We can request him to submit a list of yung nakolektang warranties or pinaulit sa mga contractor based
Yes.
on the warranties.
Kasi yun, immediate. Mas mabilis yun kaysa sa itong... of course, we have to file the necessary cases. But we know it may take some time. Pero ito, mabilis ang parusa dahil warranties yan at pwedeng kolektahin. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Lacson.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Edwin Tulfo is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the good gentleman from Cavite and former top cop of the country yield to some questions?
Certainly to the gentleman from Palawan. No? And ikaw ba, Isabela, o si Rapi? Sorry.
Palawan and the entire Philippines.
Entire Philippines.
That's
Thank you, Mr.
Senator Rafi.
President.
Anyway, Mr. President, the gentleman from Palawan, from Cavite mentioned about cash converted to chips and chips converted to cash. Tama po ba ang pagkaintindi po namin na yung mga cash na hawak ng mga DPWH district engineer, assistant district engineer, yung mga nasa first district ng Bulacan, nagdadala po ng pera milyon-milyon sa casino at ipapalit po ng cash, kunwari ilalaro nila yung daan-daang milyon, pagkatapos ng ilang oras ay babalik na po sila, papalitan nila muli yung cash para maging cheque na, para pag-deposit nila sa bangko, cheque po ng casino ang nakalagay. Tama po ba yun, Mr. President?
That is correct, Mr. President. That's the money laundering scheme that they employed, that we suspected at least, no, na in-employ nila. Dahil may report kami na pinakamalaking cash na nadala nila, and this is not uncommon. Pag pumasok ka sa casino, 400 million pesos, Mr. President. Talagang hilahan ng mga maleta dyan pagpasok sa casino, and the casino employees, even the security people, don't mind because those are customers, especially yung mga pasado na sa know your client category. Hindi talaga iniintindi na yon. So they can bring as much cash as they can, and it's welcome. But these are being monitored, Mr. President. meron niya kasi yung PAGCOR and casino itself, meron silang means to monitor. And yung report nga namin, naban pa nga itong grupo nito sa isang casino kasi nasuspetyan sila na nagma-money laundering lamang. Kaya nag-casino hopping na sila.
So Mr. President, ibig sabihin po, may kinalaman din itong mga land-based casinos natin because they allow this kind of operations. Alam ko pong dapat po may tinatawag sila know your client. Pero nasaan na po yung know your client? Di po ba dapat magtaka po ang casino bakit itong si Mr. na hindi naman kilala, hindi naman po ito tycoon, may dalang 400 million at nagpapalit ng pera sa kanilang cashier, Mr. President?
Ang mahirap kasi, Mr. President, gumagamit ng mga aliases eh. So there's no way for the casino operators to find out yung real identities. Kami nga po medyo natagalan before we found out yung kanilang real identities. It took time actually. No, may konting alam nyo na, konting investigasyon, konting contact, nagbibigay ng information before we actually found out sino ba si Henry Alcantara, Joseph whatever. So yan po yung problema rin ng casino, and meron pong batas actually na making the casino operators also criminally or civilly liable pag pinayagan nila na yung government officials makapasok at makapaglaro. Meron ding shared liability yung casino operators. But what can they do kung aliases naman yung ginamit? And these people were able to build their credibility or their reputation as being really big-time gamblers.
Yan po ang susunod ng tatalakayin ng aming komite, Mr. President, yung pong games and amusement. Sa susunod po namin pagdinig, ipapatawag po namin itong mga casino na ito. Anyway, Mr. President, maaari po bang malaman kung ang Anti-Money Laundering Council ay nakapag-file na po ng reklamo sa DOJ or Ombudsman para sa pagsasampa ng kaso ng money laundering offenses sa mga opisyalis na ito? At kung wala pa, bakit po mas nauna po kayo at yung council natin ay hindi pa po nakapag-file, Mr. President?
As we speak, Mr. President, they already have a scheduled meeting with the newly designated Secretary of Public Works, Secretary Vince Dizon. I think meron na silang nakaset na schedule para mag-coordinate along this line.
Nararapat po ba, Mr. President, na matignan din ang bank deposits ng BGC Boys? Ano po ang pumipigil sa atin? Alam ko meron tayong batas na bank secrecy law. Pero paano po ito, Mr. President?
I believe that they are looking into this. If they don't have the records yet, they're already investigating. Ang problema po kasi sa Money Laundering Act, Anti-Money Laundering Act, kailangan may mga predicate crimes. Of course, casinos, in view of the amendment, covered persons na po ito eh. Juridical person, yung mga casinos. So pag lumampas ng 5 million pesos, agad-agad natitrigger yan. At inire-report sa Anti-Money Laundering Council.
Mr. President, sang-ayon po ba kayo na ito pong napakaraming problema sa government infrastructure, lalo na po dito po sa mga flood control, ay kailangan na po madaliin at silipin at kailangan pong sampahan po ng kaso ang mga taong ito, Mr. President?
That's actually my recommendation, Mr. President. That's why we gathered all the damning or if not solid evidence, para pag turn-over namin ito sa independent commission, once it is fully constituted, then they can have an easy, they have the means to file immediately cases for preliminary investigation by the Ombudsman or the DOJ.
Ngayong araw po kasi, Mr. President, ang inyong pong lingkod ay naghain po ng isang resolusyon, Senate Bill number 1215, also known as Infrastructure Anomalies Investigation Act of 2025, na dapat po magkaroon ng independent body para maimbestigahan, hindi lamang po executive order na ginawa po ng Pangulo. Sang-ayon po ba kayo rito, Ginoong Pangulo?
Definitely. Let's institutionalize the existence of the independent body to investigate all probable defective infrastructure projects, not just flood control projects, but all infrastructure projects, Mr. President.
May pamamaraan po ba, Ginoong Pangulo, na masampahan na ang mga taong nabanggit, mga opisyales na harap-harapan na pong umamin sa Blue Ribbon Committee ang kanilang tinatawag na pagnanakaw po, pati paglalaro sa mga kasino, maging mga kontraktor kahapon po ay nagtuturoan na at aminado na po na talagang daan-daang milyon ang dumadaan sa kamay nila. May pamamaraan po ba tayo dito sa Senado para makapagsampa o makapagrekomenda na masampahan po sila ng kaso ng Department of Justice o di kaya ng Ombudsman?
Definitely, Mr. President. Basta't meron tayong sinabit sa kanila, no, na mga ebidensya needed to file complaints against these people, then mangyayari po yun. In fact, si Secretary Dizon, di ba, nag-ano na siya ng administrative case against Henry Alcantara on account of his own admission that he was playing in the casino. So agad-agad, nagkaroon ng basis, summary dismissal. The others, I think, susunod na po yun kasi nga, ibibigyan namin sa kanila yung aming record na nanggaling sa PAGCOR na kung saan labas-pasok sa casino itong mga ito using aliases.
I stand corrected, Mr. President. Yung Senate Bill number 1215 po, co-author po tayo ni Senate President Soto. Siya po ang lead author po rito. But anyway, nag-file din po tayo ng 10 mga panukalang batas para makatulong po sa walang problema ng flood control. Sinusuportahan ko po ang privileged speech ng ating butihing senador mula sa Cavite. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat po. Tulong-tulong po tayo.
Senator Tulfo. Senator Risa Ontiveros is recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. President. Hihilingin ko sana sa good gentleman from Cavite kung makapag-maikling interpellation lamang ako, ngunit naitanong na rin po ng good gentleman mula sa Palawan. Yung tanong ko po sana ay, if I may proceed, the good gentleman from Cavite,
Of course, my
SP Pro Tempore.
fellow minority now majority lawmaker
Yes, Mr. President, and fellow Caviteño at
and
that.
fellow Caviteño.
Opo. Itatanong ko lang po sana kung may balita na po, Mr. President, ang good gentleman mula sa Cavite, mula sa Anti-Money Laundering Council, dun sa mga transaksyon na binanggit nila sa kanilang two-part so far na privilege speech, Mr.
Meron po.
President.
Meron kami pag-uugnayan.
Okay po. That is very good to know, Mr.
Ito po
President.
yung kanilang
bahagyang
sinasabi.
sinabi na
Kailangan
kanina.
merong nakapile na complaint bago sila makakilos para mag-freeze. So I think it is a must na yung concern, of course hindi tayo magpa-file ng complaint, no? Yung executive branch. Once na mag-file sila, they can easily move in and freeze the accounts of these people.
Salamat po, Mr. President. Laging mabuting marinig sa mga iba't ibang agency o council sa executive yung kanilang advice sa mga kapwa members ng executive branch na tulad ng sinasabi ni na Senate President kanina, pinapakita yung halaga ng ganitong mga investigasyon natin o yung ganitong mga privilege speech at mga interpelasyon, mga investigasyon. Dahil nagiging symbiotic tuloy yung tulungan sa pagitan ng legislative at executive branch sa ganitong mga issue tulad ng anti-corruption. So bilang pagwawakas, Mr. President, maikling manifestasyon ng suporta sa nagpapatuloy na privilege speech ng good gentleman mula sa Cavite at ipagpapasalamat ko kung may comments sila dito. So Mr. President, base po sa mga testimonya na narinig natin hanggang kahapon tungkol sa suhulan at sa posibleng paglalaban ng pera sa casino, lumalabas na malayang umiikot ang napakalaking halaga ng pera nang walang trace. Ayon sa Anti-Money Laundering Act as amended, trabaho po ng AMLAC na i-monitor ang galaw ng malalaking pera at kasama po sa predicate offenses ng money laundering ang graft and corruption. Noong 2017, we amended the AMLA, Mr. President, at gaya ng nabanggit na rin kanina ng good gentleman from Cavite, covered persons na ang casino. Ibig sabihin ang mga casino transactions ay dapat silipin na ng AMLAC. Mungkahi ko po na singilin ang AMLAC sa susunod na hearing ng Blue Ribbon Committee
At inaasahan ko na handa ang mga report nila sa lahat ng questionableng transaksyon ng mga taong kaugnay ng isyong ito. Di po pwedeng walang alam ang AMLAC kung saan dinala ang buwis ng bayan. At kung hindi ito agad aksyonan, kasama ang posibleng asset preservation, mawawala po yan na parang tinangay din ng baha. At hindi po pwedeng hayaan yan, Mr. President. Salamat po, Mr. President, at salamat sa good gentleman from Cavite.
Salamat kaayo, distinguished lady from Capiz and Cavite also.
Thank you. We congratulate the distinguished gentleman for the privileged speech. Majority Leader is recognized.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we refer the speech of our Senate President pro tempore, Senator Lacson, to the interpellation and to the Committee on Accountability, Public Officers, and Investigations. Mr. President.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Mr. President,
So yan mga kaibigan, no? Nakita nyo na.
All right, joining us now is DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon. I want to thank you, Secretary, for being on hand.
Again, ano tayo dyan, kumbaga, tayo ay dito, ano bang tawag doon? Maka-copyright tayo dyan, no? So, maka-copyright tayo. Huwag na yan, kasi maka-copyright tayo, no? So, yan ang mga kaibigan, no? So, eto na nga po, nakita nyo na po, guys, no, yung investigation ni Senator Ping Lacson, no, tungkol doon sa detalyado, no, yung investigation niya tungkol dito sa katiwalian sa flood control. Nakasentro po sa Bulacan at kitang-kita po natin na talagang nagpasasa sa pera itong mga district engineer, no, yung mga may kinalaman dyan sa DPWH, nagpasasa talaga sila sa pera ng taong bayan, no? Habang ang mga kababayan natin ay nalulunod sa baha at habang marami sa kababayan natin ay walang makain, no, naghihirap, pero sila ay nagpapasasa sa kaba ng bayan at pinapangsugal lang, pinapangsugal. So ito po mga kababayan, no, asahan po natin na ang mga tao na involved dito ay talagang hindi lang sila makakasuhan, kundi sila ay makukulong dahil ito pong directive ng ating Pangulo ay talagang seryoso na panagutin yung mga may kasalanan kahit sino pa man yan, no? Walang sacred cow. Kahit kongresista, senador ka man, kamag-anak, kaibigan. Ang sabi nga ng Pangulo natin, sino ba ang mas mahalaga? Yung kaibigan o yung bayan? Yung kamag-anak o yung bayan? Siyempre, mas mahalaga yung bayan, yung mga Pilipino. Yan po ang sinasabi ng ating Pangulo. Kaya ito po, naniniwala po ako na sa panahon ngayon ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos ay matutuldukan itong mga korupsyon na nangyayari ngayon, di lamang sa DPWH, kundi maging sa iba-ibang mga ahensya ng gobyerno. Salamat po mga kaibigan. Babalik po ulit ako mamaya. Admin Rich po, komentarista. Babalik ako guys. Bye-bye for another live.